Coming up, Hong Yi-ji brings you this morning's breaking news with WEBN Boston.
And Allie Evans breaks down Coco Gauff's legendary WTA win over the weekend.
And Chase Henfey recaps the Castile Well Travel Group's trip to Prague.
All that and much more this morning, Tuesday, November 12th on Good Morning Emerson.
Good morning, Emerson. I'm Faith Pinto.
And I'm Max Lasky. Faith, we're live. We're back in the studio. Feels like forever ago because it was such a long weekend.
I know. I appreciated the extra days off so much. Did you do anything fun?
Let's see. Sat around.
Yes.
Saw Clint Eastwood's alleged last film.
Oh my gosh,
Juror
which I
number
really
2.
want to see.
Very good, very good. Highly
good?
recommend.
Okay.
Yes. And what else did you watch? Football. I mean, the Bears have become the laughing stock of the NFL, really. So,
great.
But you.
Tough loss to the Patriots.
Enough about me. You half a marathon. Hello.
Yes. Finished. Done.
Wow.
I can't wait to do another one in a long time, in a little while.
Yeah.
Once I'm not sore in a few months.
Yeah, I'm sure. You did a great job.
Thank you.
Amazing work.
Thank you.
Well, we got much to get to this morning, so we're going to start with President-elect Donald Trump expected to appoint South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem as the head of Homeland Security. Hong Yi-ji is live in the JPC with the full story.
Thanks, guys. Good morning. I'm Hong Yi-ji, and welcome to today's WEBN News Update. President-elect Donald Trump has selected South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem as his next Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security. Kristi Noem will lead the agency. She will oversee everything including U.S. Customs and border protection. Her responsibilities also cover immigration and customs enforcement, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, and the U.S. Secret Service. President Joe Biden is hosting Israeli President Isaac Herzog at the White House today. This comes as the Biden administration still looks for a ceasefire progress in Gaza and Lebanon. Herzog will meet Biden at the White House at 11:30 this morning. His office said afterwards he will deliver a statement to the media. While in Washington, Herzog will also meet with Congresswoman Elise Stefanik, who President-elect Donald Trump chose as the next U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. He will also meet with Trump's longtime foreign policy advisor, Senator Lindsey Graham. According to a joint scoreboard released by the group of humanitarian aid organizations, the Israeli government did not meet criteria set by the U.S. to improve the humanitarian situation in Gaza. The release of the scoreboard comes on the 30-day deadline for action. The deadline was set by Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin in a letter to the Israeli government. The U.S. officials said in that letter that Israel must act on more than a dozen measures to improve the situation. Massachusetts Air National Guardsman Jack Teixeira is set for sentencing today after pleading guilty to leaking classified military documents. Prosecutors seek a 16-year prison term. They argue Teixeira, quote, perpetrated one of the most significant and consequential violations of the Espionage Act in American history. Teixeira's defense argued for an 11-year sentence highlighting his autism and lack of malicious intent. The leaked documents shared on Discord included sensitive information about the Ukraine war. A Massachusetts Department of Youth Service correction officer was trapped in his truck as the road was blocked by more than 100 vehicles. The incident happened shortly after 11:30 p.m. on Canterbury Street. The DYS officer was leaving work when people jumped on his vehicle and banged on his windows, trapping him. The officer was not injured. Police reported that the crowd began to disperse once they found the DYS officer. Though people continued running toward other vehicles, 3 people involved were arrested. That's all for today's WEBN News Update. Faith and Max, how was your day off from school yesterday?
Well, we kind of gave a little bit of a sneak preview before we tossed to you. It was pretty good. It was restful, I think, yesterday for both of us. What about you, Hong-Yi?
Well, I did work, but I really like the half marathon, Faith.
Thank you. Thank you. Are you going to run one anytime soon?
Well, I'm probably too big to run a marathon.
Never say never.
Yeah.
That's not the attitude. It's the start of the week. Anything is possible. Thank you so much, Hong-Yi.
Great stuff.
All right. Well, also in the JPC this morning is Tony Ciano with this morning's weather. It's cooling down a little, so let's head over to Tony to get the forecast.
Good morning, Faith and Max. It is a windy morning today as we are expected to experience gusts of up to 37 miles per hour around the city of Boston, which will make that 40-degree temperature feel as if it is in those 30s. That's right, it might finally be time to break out those puffer coats and scarves. With daylight savings now in effect, those cold temperatures are going to start hitting us earlier in the day. As we travel deeper into the week, temperatures will remain in the 40s and 50s, with it peaking on Sunday with our lowest point in the week at 56. On Wednesday, as we dip below freezing into 29, it seems like most of the days this week are going to have the sun shining over some shimmering gusts. Next Monday, keep an eye out for a chance of rain throughout the day, which will be good for the dryness that Massachusetts has been facing for this time of the year. That's all I have for weather this week. How are you both feeling about the temperatures finally dipping into those cool numbers?
Well,
I'm cold over here thinking about it.
I complain about it when it's too hot. I'll complain about it when it's too cold. It's just, it's what I live for these days.
No, it was brutal this morning. It was so windy. So
It wasn't
windy.
good for the hair, Tony.
Yeah.
That's what I can confirm.
No, but we made it. We're here. Thank you so much, Tony. This Thursday, a UEFA Nations League match is set to take place between France and Israel, which has the city of Paris taking extra safety measures. Just 1 week after violence against Israeli fans in Amsterdam, Paris police have announced that 4,000 officers and 1,600 stadium staff will be deployed for the soccer match to ensure security in and around the stadium and on public transportation. These preparations come after Israeli soccer fans were assaulted last week in Amsterdam by angry cab drivers and pro-Palestinian protesters in response to Israeli fans burning a Palestinian flag and chanting inflammatory remarks. French President Emmanuel Macron is expected to attend Thursday's matchup, not only to show support for the French team, but also to send a message following the anti-Semitic attacks that followed the match in Amsterdam. Israel's National Security Council, in a statement Sunday, warned citizens abroad to avoid sports and cultural events, specifically the match in Paris, and to be careful of violent attacks. In response, Paris Police Chief Laurent Nunez said, quote, "We won't tolerate violence. There will be an anti-terrorist security perimeter around the stadium, and security checks will be reinforced."
A 6.8 magnitude earthquake shook eastern Cuba Sunday afternoon. The epicenter was located just 20 miles off the coast, further devastating the island as it still recovers from hurricanes and blackouts. Tremors were felt throughout the region, rocking the second largest city, Santiago de Cuba. Luckily, no injuries or severe damage were reported, though one local described the quake as the largest one that she's ever felt.
Bastante fuerte, como nunca. En otras ocasiones hemos sentido sismos, pero no tan fuerte como se sintió ahora.
The earthquake comes just days after the island was hit by Hurricane Rafael, a Category 3 storm. Last week, hundreds of homes were destroyed and strong winds caused an island-wide blackout. Growing discontent amongst residents has sparked several small protests across the island as Cubans demand better aid and solutions to an ongoing energy crisis. After the break, Allie Evans takes us through tennis star Coco Gauff's WTA victory, so stay tuned.
welcome back to Good Morning Emerson. Let's jump into some of our sports news this morning with Allie Evans, who has some breaking tennis news from over the weekend.
Thanks, Faith and Max. Good morning. After a season of doubts and ups and downs, tennis legend Coco Gauff ended her WTA season with a finals win. The 20-year-old tennis sensation rallied to defeat China's Zhang Qinwen with 2 sets on Saturday. Before her final matchup with Qinwen, Gauff took down the #1 and #2 ranked women in the tournament in stunning upsets, being the youngest player to do so since Kim Clijsters in 2002. The former U.S. doubles world champ not only took home the WTA Finals trophy, but a lucrative $4.8 million in prize money. She is the youngest tennis player to reach the historic milestone of $20 million in total prize money. With the notable win, Gauff is now the 3rd-ranked women's tennis player in the world. And in a post on social media, Gauff shut down some of her doubters post-win, stating, quote, "Safe to say I beat the bad season allegations." And in a stunning Major League Soccer upset, Inter Miami has been knocked out of the playoffs by Atlanta United. The shocking round 1 elimination took place on Saturday at Chase Stadium after Atlanta FC's decisive 3-2 victory. Miami's 2 goals came from Matias Rojas in the 17th minute, and in his MLS playoff debut, Lionel Messi scored in the 65th minute. Jamal Tiare led the charge for ATL with 2 goals in the 19th and 21st minute. And midfielder Bartol Silic scored the final nail-in-the-coffin goal for Atlanta in the 76th minute to put Messi and Miami away for good. Entering the matchup, Miami sat with the #1 seed after recording the best regular season in league history, and Atlanta came in as heavy underdogs with the 9th seed. In a statement addressing the disappointing loss, Messi stated that Inter Miami will, quote, "come back stronger next year." Atlanta United will look to take on Orlando City in the Conference Series Finals on November 24th. And in some NASCAR news, Team Penske's Joey Logano has won the NASCAR Series Cup, solidifying himself in racing history. Despite being eliminated from the 2nd round of the Cup Series, Joey Logano got a second chance after an opponent was disqualified before the round of 8. Logano competed against fellow Team Penske racers, including Ryan Blaney, who came up just shy to capture 2nd place. This was Logano's 3rd Series Cup victory after winning in 2018 and 2022. The 3-time champ became just the 10th driver in NASCAR Cup Series history to win 3+ cups. Logano's win also marks Team Penske's 3rd consecutive Series Cup. That is all I have for sports today. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you so much, Allie. Lots of interesting sports news, a lot of international sports news today.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Max, you've been known to travel, across the pond here and there.
Yeah, I dabble in
What are your
traveling.
top 3 places right now, bucket list, for your next trips?
All right, so definitely Florence. I would love to check out Florence.
Highly recommend.
You've been to Amsterdam. I have
have.
not, so I would love to go to Amsterdam. And Prague as well.
Okay.
Prague.
I've been to Florence, I've been to Amsterdam. Prague is top of my list
Really?
right now. Yes.
Well,
maybe we hit a GME trip
yeah,
together.
let's do it. That'd be so fun.
Well, actually, so we didn't get to go as a part of GME, but our Castile correspondent Chase Henfey left the castle with their peers to go on their fall travel break, but not before stopping in Prague for an immersive weekend of fun and learning.
Look at
so
that.
Let's take a look.
Look at that.
Thank you, Faith and Max. Come tour Prague with me. The Castile cohort embarked on their 2nd academic excursion 2 weeks ago, this time to Prague in the Czech Republic. There, students went on an educational boat tour to learn about the Charles Bridge, which is different from the Charles River. Following the boat trip was a visit to the Charles Bridge Museum, which tells the history of the bridge as well as the stories of the people who helped build it.
I think that it was a good place for an academic excursion since there was a lot of opportunities to learn in the different buildings and different spaces around there, but also it was just a beautiful place, and I think that you shouldn't miss Prague when you go to Europe, just because it's so different from anywhere else in Europe.
After a break for lunch, the group came back together in a 14th century church for a multi-sensory water experience with artist Nithish Jain, where we did a variety of activities with clay, clementines, and drawings. Students in either of the 2 history classes taught at the castle visited the Museum of Communism in Prague, which depicts many different aspects of life in the communist era of Czechoslovakia.
Prague is a wonderful place for an academic excursion. There's a lot of history in Prague that I feel like we don't really cover in American schools. Like Eastern European history, which I thought was really interesting. We went to the Museum of Communism, which from an Eastern European perspective was very interesting compared to what we get in the United States.
With guided tours from our amazing academic staff, the Castile students finished off their trip with the Prague Castle. Taking a look at St. George's Basilica and the St. Vitus Cathedral, groups were taught about the different styles of architecture and the history of the castle complex.
For Good Morning Emerson, I'm your Castile correspondent, Chase Henfey. Back to you guys in the studio.
Wow, thank you so much, Chase. The castle looks
I'm
amazing.
jealous.
Prague, look at that cathedral.
I'm so
Looked
jealous.
incredible.
Max said out loud, wow.
Yeah, wow. Wow is right. Well, gotta stick with it here, so we're gonna go to Emily Champagne, who's here in studio with us, giving us the Emerson update on the men's basketball team's first win of the season.
Thanks, Faith and Max. The Emerson College's men's basketball team earned an 89-83 victory at Western Connecticut State. On their first contest of the 2024-2025 season, Saturday's victory puts them at 1-0. Emerson constructed an 18-point lead early in the first, being up 35-17. Western Connecticut was able to claw back, however, going on a 24-10 run in the second, ending the half just down by 4 points. The Lions clung to their lead throughout the second half, going back and forth. However, a tray by Jacob Armand, followed by a layup by Guillermo Gasset-Ruiz, tied the game at 74 with only 2 minutes left. The Lions were able to hold off Connecticut State, going 8 for 8 during the last 17 seconds. The Lions will be back tomorrow at 7, where they square off against Yale. Justin Ramey, a Coast Guard veteran, has lived a very complicated life. For close to 11 years, he was sent around the world, completing missions in both the United States and all the way in the Antarctic. However, today, he's a comedic arts major at Emerson College, following his dream of making people laugh. Back when Ramey was 25, he joined the Coast Guard after getting tired of working as a kitchen manager at local bars and grills. During his time as a technician, supervisor, and mechanic, he was featured on National Geographic's series Continent 7 Antarctica. After a couple of years, Ramey started looking at comedy programs and thought Emerson's BFA was the greatest thing he's ever seen. Now, after 11 years of service, the 43-year-old is out at Emerson's Los Angeles campus, writing sketch comedy and learning about storytelling. And join Emerson College's Marlborough Institute for Liberal Arts and Interdisciplinary Studies for their very own post-election panel. The event will happen today, Tuesday, November 12th, in the Bill Bordy Theater from 2 until 3:30. Marlborough's faculty members Manisha Gelman, Ali Reza Razi, and Nancy Lyons will lead the discussion and share several anticipated consequences of this 2024 election. All three women have tons of experience. Nancy Lyons has over 20 years of experience in public health. Manisha Gelman has numerous books and articles on human rights, and Ali Reza Razi currently explores how global sustainability and geopolitical stability intersect through foreign policy. If you cannot attend the panel in person, it will also be available on Zoom. And that's all I have for an Emerson update. Back to you both at the desk.
Thanks so much, Emily. Good morning, Emerson. We'll be right back with more of this morning's top stories. After the break, Noah Berkowitz breaks down some of President-elect Donald Trump's most recent appointments.
Yes, and Sam Lawrence takes us to the Emerson Urban Dance Theater's Tech Week rehearsals.
Followed by a live in-studio performance by Emerson Urban Dance themselves. Good morning, Emerson. We'll be right back.
And when I arrive at my destination, I'm gonna kill Bill.
What? Oh! Okay, cutting. Sorry, can we get some of this?
Where in God's name is the gaffer's tape? Thank you.
Hi, I'm Nate.
And I'm Casey, and we're the National Broadcasting Society.
Come out to some of our weekly workshops, or work on some of our sets.
Explore the bigger picture with NBS.
We'll see you there.
All right, let's get another take. Camera, sound.
So yeah, it's like Emerson's very own late night talk show. We've got games like Jimmy Fallon, and we're hot like Jimmy Kimmel, and we've got guests. I'm gonna talk to them. You can talk too, I guess. There's a live studio audience, and they're just gonna laugh at everything we say, and it's gonna be awesome. It's just this never-ending cycle of positivity and community and late night content. I'm gonna wear a suit. You should probably wear one too. What do you think?
I think you should drink up, because it's closing time.
Welcome back to Good Morning Emerson. We are 1 week post-election day today, and already President-elect Donald Trump has begun to fill the top positions in his 2025 presidential cabinet. We go now to Noah Berkowitz, who has the full story.
Thank you, guys. President-elect Donald Trump has begun the process of filling his cabinet for his next term. The first role filled was his chief of staff, who will be his campaign co-manager, Susie Wiles, making her the first woman to ever hold the position. His UN ambassador will be New York Representative Elise Stefanik, and Trump also appointed Tom Homan as his border czar, who is his former Immigration and Customs Enforcement Director. Homan is expected to be a major player in the upcoming Trump administration, given his promised border crackdowns on the campaign trail. Stephen Miller will serve as Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy. Miller was a senior advisor to Trump during his first administration and also worked as his lead speechwriter. Miller is the lead architect for Trump's mass deportation plans and spearheaded the family separation program during the first 4 Trump years. Now, finally, former Representative Lee Zeldin will head the Environmental Protection Agency. Zeldin notably ran for New York governor 2 years ago and is a longtime Trump loyalist. Now, Trump is also expected to name Florida Senator Marco Rubio as his Secretary of State. Rubio was on the president-elect's shortlist for vice president just a few months ago. As Trump continues to rapidly appoint his staff on foreign policy and national security teams, we're expected to see some big-name appointees in the next few weeks. Elon Musk, RFK Jr., and Vivek Ramaswamy are also vying for cabinet spots, with RFK being a potential nod for shaping health policy, Musk for leading a new potential government efficiency initiative, and Ramaswamy for multiple roles, including education secretary. Trump over the weekend made the picture slightly clearer via a Truth Social post, saying that Nikki Haley and Mike Pompeo won't have roles in the new administration. And Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor says she has no plans of stepping down. The comments come after some Democrats suggested that the most senior liberal on the Supreme Court should retire, allowing President Joe Biden to choose a replacement before Trump takes office in January. The calls show echoes of late Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who also did not step down and later passed away during the first Trump tenure, allowing for the appointment of conservative Justice Amy Coney Barrett. Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders has hit back at the request, saying that he doesn't think it's sensible. Sotomayor is 70, however, has shown no signs of deteriorating health, making public appearances multiple times within the past few months. And President-elect Trump will meet with President Biden tomorrow in the Oval Office. The meeting will mark the next step in the peaceful transition of power and the return of a tradition that was halted in 2020 after Trump refused to invite Biden to the White House just 4 years ago. It's not immediately clear what will be discussed in the meeting. However, White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre added that more details would be available soon. Incoming First Lady Melania Trump has also been invited to the White House for a meeting with current First Lady Jill Biden, but it's currently unclear whether if that meeting is going to happen. Both the Trump and Biden teams have been in consistent contact about preparing Trump for his second stint in the White House and the peaceful transition between the two. That's all I have for politics today. Back to you two at the desk.
Thank you, Noah. Sam Lawrence took a trip over to Emerson's Paramount building this weekend to check out Emerson Urban Dance Theater's Tech Week rehearsals before their shows this weekend. Let's take a look.
Thanks, Faith and Max. Today I spoke with some incredibly talented dancers from Emerson Urban Dance Theater to hear all about their new Panic-themed show that's coming up this weekend.
In the Paramount Theater on Washington Street, the hardworking performers at Emerson Urban Dance Theater are tirelessly preparing for their upcoming show titled Panic. The full show features 16 individual dance numbers, 14 of them being small group showcases and 2 of them being full group performances. The troupe has 47 members across all grade levels, and for freshmen Zaire Gadi and Tamina Monroe, this will be their first performance with EUDT.
It's been really fun. I love these people. I've met a lot of people. Excited for you guys to see the show. Yeah, I've just been like learning and experiencing and just having fun.
It really felt like, I don't know, like a home, like family when I first joined. And I've met so many great people. The journey has been insane.
As each small group gets up to perform in front of the entire troupe, everybody sits on the sidelines and cheers on their teammates. Through attending just one rehearsal, it is clear that EUDT is family. Natalie Mills choreographed her dance routine to the song Sail by AWOL Nation.
When it first came to my mind, I was thinking of it very literally. I was kind of like, what's that song where he's like screaming the lyrics and like screaming the words? And I was like, I think it's called Sail.
This is Mills' first time choreographing a group number, and though it may seem like a daunting task, she says working with her fellow dancers has made the process a lot easier.
Honestly, like I kept the group small and like all my dancers are so amazing. So it honestly like wasn't hard working with them at all.
With less than a week left until their opening performance, the members of Emerson Urban Dance Theater can't wait to show off their skills to a live audience.
Oh, I'm so excited. It's going to be such a good show. I think it's going to be one of our best shows.
The nerves are always going to be there, but I'm so excited for people to see the show. It's so good. Guys, come.
Please come. Buy your tickets if you haven't gotten your tickets.
EUDT's big show is happening on Friday the 15th and Saturday the 16th at the Cutler Majestic Theater on Tremont Street, and tickets are available on emersontheaters.org.
In the Paramount Theater, I'm Sam Lawrence with Good Morning Emerson.
Thank you, Sam. Don't go anywhere because when we come back, EUDT will join us in the studio for a live sneak peek of their upcoming show, Panic. Stay tuned.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, read your lease. No pets allowed. My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
You can achieve a lot using your imagination. I mean, I don't like to brag, but... Wait, who's that? And why is she all over these achievement awards? But with STEM, the sky's the limit. Shaboom! Use STEM to envision... Okay, I'm seeing it. Yeah. Invent...
Got any ideas?
I've got a few, actually. And create a better world.
Told you she's super smart.
If she can STEM, so can you. Find out more at She Can STEM.
Honorary Forest Ranger Betty White here, lending a hand to my dear friend Smokey Bear. Because for 75 years, he's only said,
only you can prevent wildfires.
But there's a lot more to say. Like if you park your car on tall, dry grass, the hot exhaust pipe can start a wildfire. So keep the animals safe, especially the cute shirtless one. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Hey, did you know 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Let's go to theshelterpetproject.org and meet if you are in a shelter near you. Harlow, oh, she's one great listener and loves to hear all your stories. My kind of cat. Cerulo is a sweet, goofy boy who's eager to please. Sounds just like another dog I know. So go to theshelterpetproject.org, search your local shelters and rescues, and go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
When I arrive at my destination, I am gonna kill Bill.
What? Oh, okay, cutting. Sorry, can we get some of this?
Where in God's name is the gaffer's tape? Thank you.
Hi, I'm Nate.
And I'm Casey, and we're the National Broadcasting Society.
Come out to some of our weekly workshops, or work on some of our sets.
Explore the bigger picture with NBS.
We'll see you there.
All right, let's get another take. Camera, sound.
Hi, I'm Mary Malloy, the host of Speechless, and you're watching the Emerson Channel.
All right, coming back in 10 seconds. Ready, camera one. Camera one, get a wide shot of the entire thing, and in 3, 2, 1, take it. Talent cue.
Welcome back to Emerson College. Emerson
Camera
trails
4, get a shot of the players coming across the court.
10 seconds left. Emerson trails by 1 point. As
Camera
the
2
team
close on the
finishes
person
their
shooting.
timeout. Thanks, Joe. With 10 seconds left, Emerson is hoping to pull away and score this big one.
Camera 1, get a close and follow them over.
Emerson trails WPI 10 points. 10 seconds left. Emerson trails by 1 point as the team finishes their timeout.
Camera 1, close up on number 33.
Thanks, Joe. With 10 seconds left, Emerson is hoping to pull away.
Follow the ball, follow the ball.
Welcome back to Good Morning Emerson.
We are joined now by the dancers of EUDT's contemporary company. We have Carly Gallivan, Kyoko Ito, Talia Leva, Alexa Ortiz, Jada Weaver, and Nikki Yar, who will be performing a dance choreographed by Natalie Mills.
And now EUDT presents Panic. Here is Sail by AWOL Nation.
Fabulous. Thank you so much for being here with us. If you haven't gotten your tickets yet to see EUDT, make sure you grab them now before they sell out. Once again, that show is called Panic.
Absolutely. That's all we have for you this morning.
I'm Faith Minnow.
And I'm Max Lasky.
Thanks for waking up with us.